Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Fortnite Season 7 is only 3 weeks away, so this season is practically over. We have a small update on Tuesday. We have the final Wild Week, and then next Tuesday, we have the final big update of the season, and then we're getting ready for Season 7. So let's talk about what I personally want to happen in Season 7, some changes and things that I'm looking forward to, and how Season 6 went. Quick recap. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't forget to like this video. All right, so Season 6 came out with a bang. Huge changes across the board, big map changes, new primal system, and a new crafting system. There was a lot of changes. Now, initially, people were pretty upset about the primal shotgun. It took Epic a few weeks, and they eventually made the primal shotgun pretty weak. I don't really remember the last time I died to a primal shotgun. The second part is the crafting system. The crafting system, some people really liked it, some people did not like it. And I think Epic did a decent job of kind of making the crafting system a little bit more intuitive. They added more materials. They even changed up the way the crafting works. If you guys don't remember, going from gray to green used to require like 4 mechanical parts, and they kind of shifted it to be like 2 and then 4 and then 6. They also buffed the spawn rate of the shotguns, reduced the amount of makeshift weapons on the floor loot. Epic did a pretty good job, in my opinion, this season, reacting and listening to community feedback. This is probably one of the most responsive seasons I've seen from Epic, so I got to give them credit there. Before I get into the issues, there's still a lot of other positive things about Season 6. There was a lot of new weapons to try. The bows was a very cool way of introducing a new weapon type. I think like the bows could have very easily been either so broken or so weak, but I think there was like a healthy middle ground where it was kind of skillful, and the people who like excelled at using bows actually had to be pretty skillful to land those shots. And I saw some really awesome shots landed from some very talented players. The bows, the pistols, there was a lot of promising leaks this season, like the vault near the bunker, raptors in the game. Kevin the Cube was teased a lot this season. Car attachments and a lot of weapons teased in the trailer. It felt like there would be a lot of content this season. We also started seeing map changes. POIs around the map started barricading themselves, but then everything kind of slowed down at a certain point. The barricades have not led to anything yet. We're not even sure if there's going to be an end of season event. And let's talk about the raptors real quickly. The dinosaurs were added. In my opinion, the dinosaurs did not really impact the game. Neither did the wolves or the boars or the chickens. I mean, and then as far as map changes throughout the season, that was also very minimal. We started off with a huge change, the whole primal takeover of the map, and we thought maybe it was going to kind of progress throughout the season. We started seeing the barricades and we thought, oh, something's going to happen, but that's kind of the last that we saw of major map changes, besides, you know, the little island that spawned south of Flush Factory. Another thing I want to touch on is the actual map change itself. The primal POIs are not very popular with the player base. A lot of times I'll go through bony burbs or colossal crops. It's unlooted, like nobody even landed there. You don't really get a lot of metal parts when you land there, and most people prefer mechanical weapons over the primal weapons. So that's the first issue. A lot of the structures in those areas are not build friendly. There's a lot of things that you can't build on, or that block your builds or make your builds feel a little bit awkward when you're building and fighting in those buildings. And in the beginning of the season, everybody was landing in the spire and it was super hectic, but very, very quickly, people stopped landing there because it was a very awkward place to fight. The design is cool. The zip lines are cool. The concept is there, but Epic kind of needs to understand that when you create a POI that has weird structures that don't fit the building that Fortnite has, players tend to avoid those areas. Now let's talk about the exotics and the mythics that got added throughout the season. Epic did a good job of keeping things fresh and adding exotics and mythics throughout the entire season. However, some of these weapons are kind of falling a little short in terms of creativity. I think that for me, the most impressive one that really kind of changed things up was the recycler. I personally liked using it. It was a very creative gun. That was like a Fortnite moment, they added something that was unique to Fortnite. It felt like it changed things up a bit. It had its uses. It had its quirky things, like using it to kind of do like 1 damage per second against players, and then like spitting out things at them. Like it was a unique gun. But let's talk about some of the other guns that got added. For example, we had the exotic unstable bow, right? That felt pretty underwhelming. All right, it didn't feel that powerful. I barely see it in the game. I barely see people go for it. Same thing with the Easter launcher. That one also kind of just felt like a repeat. The exotic 6-shooter, like I liked using the exotic 6-shooter. Is very strong. I loved getting headshots with it, but that's just kind of like a reformat of a gun that already existed. A lot of these exotics and mythics, they don't feel as powerful or as game-changing as they should be, considering some of them you have to buy for gold and some of them are hard to get because you know there's only one of them on the map if it's a mythic. The car attachments was a very cool addition, and it really kind of opens up room for future attachments to come in. I would have liked to see like 1 or 2 more attachments added this season. So I feel like that was a great change. Bringing the tactical shotguns back was also a great change because once they nerfed the primal shotgun, we were in this awkward stage where it was just only pumps being viable. Pumps are still my go-to, but I know people who really prefer the tac, and it's good that that's an option. All right, so let's talk about Fortnite Season 7 and what I personally would like to see. In Season 7, I would like to see way more creative changes as well. We're kind of shifting focus a little bit away from Battle Royale, it feels like, into the creative modding sandbox era of Fortnite. And I would like to see more information about it. You know, we got the 50-player creative maps, and, you know, we created a really interesting video about that. I would like to make even more interesting creative videos for you guys. You guys really liked that video, and it was very positive feedback. In terms of in-game stuff in BR, you know, more vehicle attachments. I want to see the turret. I want to see additional, like being able to pull into the garage and opening up some sort of car menu. And attachments make people really attached to the game. But a game like Warzone really lives off of the fact that you can customize your weapons the way you see fit. So we did know that there was a bunch of leaks and information about weapon attachments coming to Fortnite. Hopefully Season 7 is when we see some of these weapon attachments. I think it would be best to shift away from the crafting a little bit. You know, right now crafting, you find a makeshift assault rifle, right? And when you craft it, you're upgrading it and changing it. But that's where I feel like Fortnite loses some people. The fact that you have to find the makeshift, which is like a weaker version of a normal AR, and then you have to upgrade it to a normal assault rifle that you usually would find on the floor in previous seasons very easily. So instead of doing that, how about you find a normal assault rifle, and then through the crafting system, you can turn it with attachments and crafting materials, you can turn it into a burst. Let's say you find a silencer attachment, you turn it into a silence AR. Maybe you find something else, you turn it into an infantry. So instead of using the crafting system for upgrades, you can use the crafting system mixed with the attachment system to change your weapons, to turn a normal SMG into a silenced SMG, or to turn a normal SMG into a rapid fire SMG. That would be the best way to keep a lot of weapon options in the game, allow people to use guns that they're comfortable with, and not make it to where like, oh, I landed, I have a makeshift shotgun, I have a makeshift AR, it's very weak, I need to craft first before I can go fight, because that kind of slows things down. And that's another thing that I still want to see in Season 7. I talk about this every single video where I'm like, what's next? The pacing of the game. Some pub matches, 90% of the players are dead in the first 5-10 minutes. The game has evolved. The players have evolved. People are a lot better at this game. People like to W key. People like to get into fights. Even if you're not good at Fortnite, people love the action. You know, you want to get your first victory royale. It's a very cool moment, very cool experience. Nowadays, people want to fight. People want to actually practice their builds against other players, practice their shot against other players. One thing we haven't seen in a very long time is any updates or changes to the building and editing system of Fortnite. We did see some quality of life changes recently with, you know, you can disable pre-edits. That was a great, fantastic change. But we haven't seen any new edits added to the game. That's kind of like a thing that Fortnite is kind of keeping on the side for now, because Epic could really easily throw in a new editing style or a new edit that you can do on walls or ramps, or even like a new building material, and they haven't done that yet. It doesn't mean that they won't ever do it, but they're kind of keeping it in their arsenal to pull out when they need to. And I feel like it would be interesting to see some sort of building or editing updates. In terms of the seasons rhyming, you know, we talked about how like Season 4 Chapter 1 was a superhero season. Season 4 Chapter 2 was the Marvel season. So that was very in sync. However, this season, we kind of broke away from that. The Primal season did not match Season 6. So maybe we're going to get some sort of summer season for Season 7, maybe like a beach vibe, which we saw in the past, but Fortnite kind of broke the rhythm a tiny bit with the Primal. So maybe they're going to keep breaking it moving forward and introduce a whole new concept that we're not thinking about. Regarding the map, I want to see unique new POIs that still fit the building grid of Fortnite. I want to see more POIs that offer, unique perspectives, cool sights to see, cool design, but still allow you to build and feel comfortable with building in them. Because at the end of the day, Fortnite is really a building game first, shooting game second. And then one last thing, I would like to see an event. It's been a little bit since we've had a live in-game event, either at the end of this season or the start of next season. I would like to see an in-game live event, bring back the streamers, let people experience another huge monumental moment in the Fortnite story. Let me know what you want in Season 7 and how you think Season 6 went. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.